Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about $80 games because they just did a new trailer, a release date, a big reveal for Mafia The Old Country, and honestly it looks fantastic. The trailer came out like literally 15 minutes ago. Instantly it's trending, instantly everybody's happy about it, but also they announced it's going to cost $50. Last night, Electronic Arts also released a statement saying they're not going to be making their games $80. I wanted to talk about this because it does feel like ever since Nintendo said their games need to cost $80 and other companies have started to follow suit like Xbox, it does feel like we're about to see a battle inside of the industry versus the companies that trust their product, that realize, okay, we can charge 50 or 60 and it's going to make money because so many people will buy it, versus the companies that are, in my opinion, trying to overcharge the hell out of you. Let's talk about this because I think that this is going to get, it's going to get messy and kind of fun. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh yeah, check this out. It's the Doom Special Edition controller. Maybe it won't show up because I'm on a green screen. This is what I got myself for my birthday. Okay, so like this trailer honestly looks fantastic. Now, Mafia The Old Country is obviously a prequel to the Mafia games that takes place quite a bit back in the day. It looks spectacular. Good graphics, cool combat, incredibly immersive story. I mean, it looks like your AAA game. This is not a low-budget, crappy game. You know, this isn't some money-grabbing spinoff. It's an actually good new entry. But I have to say that a lot of people are very much amazed about the fact that not only is it about to come out, it's actually dropping here on August 8th. It's $50. Now, to me, the reason this is crazy is that I think it's interesting that the last Mafia game was $60. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen a sequel lower priced than its predecessor. Mafia The Old Country on PS5 looks amazing, launches August 8th. More info coming via a Twitch panel at here in, 3 hours of this recording. While to me this is only $50, but I'm excited for another Mafia game to drop. Now, everybody's kind of focusing on that price because, honestly, people have been discussing the fact that everything get more expensive because the budgets are going up. Oh, we're making these games that are so expansive, or in this case, open world. We have to be able to basically make a game that costs $100 because you can do random side quests or go into shops. I kind of admire, more than anything else, when somebody has a vision. Clearly, when they were making this game, they go, okay, how can we do this? Okay, let's make a dedicated story in a different part of the world that's actually contained and cool. Yes, it is a linear narrative-driven game, but I'm okay with that. $50 for a tight 12, 15-hour story, to me, that's absolutely worth the price, especially because a lot of times I almost find, in a way, more replayability out of narrative-focused games, because it is fun to sometimes beat it really quick the first time to see the cool story and how it ends, and then the second time, go slower, play it on a higher difficulty, get all the collectibles, start popping trophies and stuff like that. Personally, a lot of times, if there's a game that's like 10 hours long, sometimes I'll end up doing 4 or 5 playthroughs. I mean, what is it? Resident Evil 4 Remake. I think I did, 16 playthroughs of it, which sounds absolutely bonkers, but God, that game was so fun to platinum. Okay, but a lot of people are talking about this because also last night, Electronic Arts, who, let's face it, they do so much wrong. Electronic Arts is the king of taking L's. They do so much stuff bad. I'm still not over the fact that they funded a Dead Space remake. The Dead Space remake is fantastic, and then they laid the whole team off, went, sorry, it's just not worth investing in Dead Space. In my opinion, massive L-producing company. But they said last night, EA has no plans to start charging $80 for games. Okay, so as you can see, they released this statement last night at 5 p.m. It has almost 80,000 likes. Now, of course, people are being, okay, they're going to give you $80 in microtransactions instead. Okay, they're going to start charging $90. A lot of people are like, okay, we don't really trust them because, you know, EA has screwed gamers over pretty much more than anything else. EA doesn't have the balls to make a game worth $80, so they know they can't charge it anyways. This is kind of an interesting dynamic, which is that I do think that these games costing $80, they're going to have measurably lower sales. I do think this is the dynamic is, okay, do I want to have a low cost and hopefully higher sales? All right, we're charging 30% less, so we want 30% more sales numbers, more word of mouth, more viral posts, more pre-order numbers. If we release DLC, higher DLC sales and stuff. But I almost feel like $80 games to me, I do think is going to be a breaking point, especially with a lot of this stuff. Xbox raising the price. I'll be honest, this is one I'm still not over. They revealed this now, 4 days ago, 7 days ago? I still think it's wild. $80 games on Xbox still feels incredibly bad. Now, I have seen a conspiracy theory going around that everybody is trying to get pushed into subscription services. That, let's face it, Game Pass right now is still cheap. There's a lot of rumblings that we're about to get a very significant Game Pass price increase, but a lot of these companies now, Ubisoft released this very weird statement a couple weeks ago about the fact that you don't own your games. Now, technically, we do this legally. Like, if you actually read the fine print of a disc, a lot of times it straight up says, even on the box and stuff, that you don't own this. You know, you can't resell it. You can't have like a public movie theater playing Breath of the Wild cutscenes. Okay, that makes sense. But these companies want to go a step further and say, like, you have to perpetually pay us for permission to play our games. Like Ubisoft Plus, there's that service where right now you pay a subscription fee and you can play like old Assassin's Creeds, old Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, and stuff like that. I think every company is about to start having a subscription service. I think everybody. Like currently, there is a version of it that exists for stuff like GeForce Now. Obviously, there's a streaming service for EA Play. There's one for PlayStation Now, although obviously it's used a lot less. PlayStation Plus Essential, Xbox Game Pass. I have seen people pitching the idea that this price increase is an attempt to make it where you never own anything. You have to perpetually pay. And then once they have you locked in, once you don't own any games, they can just slowly turn up that price more and more and more and see how much you'll deal with. I do not like the Netflixification of video games. I'm very much concerned about it. And I do think that as games start to cost $100 a pop, we're going to see very much the gaming bubble pop in a way that might not be recoverable. But I want to just say I'm giving kudos to Mafia. I think I'm still concerned about the fact that I almost feel like this is a dying art. I'm a little bit afraid of not video games dying, but in the fact that this classic trend of linear, AA, mid-budget games that are fun and passionate and still look good and don't even cost $60. This is the kind of stuff I very much appreciate. I do think this game is going to sell like crazy. I'm going to make that prediction now. And I do hope that if it's good, I do think it'd be interesting if all the games that are nominated for Game of the Year, games like Expedition 33, it would be interesting if a bunch of those games were all $50. If all the biggest titles we're talking about the most are not the $80 games. It's kind of fascinating to consider. This is just some off-the-cuff thoughts. How do you feel about $80 games, and how do you feel about Mafia The Old Country? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. Look at this. Oh my God. my old... Where's my other Xbox controller? I played so much Indiana Jones, it actually broke the left stick. My character kept getting stuck looking up. So I was like, all right, I got to get a new controller. Anyways, it's my birthday. I'm going to get a cool one. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, yeah. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.